You know what's interesting? Almost every woman believes she knows how to kiss a man. But if you ask most men quietly, they'll admit that only a few women ever made them feel something deeper than just a spark. The truth is, men aren't hard to excite, but making a man completely lose control, making him crave you long after you've left, that's another kind of art. And that art starts with understanding 3 secret areas on his body that are wired not just for pleasure, but for emotional surrender. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, "Oh, I already know those spots," let me tell you something. You don't. Because they're not where you imagine. And once you master them, he'll never forget the way you touched him, no matter how many women come after you. Here's where most women make a mistake. They mix being sexy with being strategic. They think kissing is only about passion and spontaneity, but it's not. It's about rhythm. It's about timing. It's about presence, intention, and connection. The right kiss in the right place, at the right time, with the right energy behind it, can make a man's whole body give in. It can collapse every wall he has ever built. I used to think kissing was just about chemistry, that magic, spark you can't explain. But after years of helping women with relationships, I learned something powerful. Chemistry can be created. You can build it layer by layer through energy, through anticipation, through slowing down instead of rushing forward. You can awaken desire so deep inside him that he feels it days later. You can move him past excitement into surrender. You can turn attraction into imprinting. Let me ask you something real. Have you ever kissed a man and felt him respond but not melt? Like he's into it, but he's not letting go? You feel his hands moving, his breathing change, but it's still surface level. He's not falling apart. He's not losing control. He's still thinking. That's because you were probably kissing him in all the usual spots. His lips, his neck, maybe his chest. And while he enjoys it, his brain isn't surprised. Nothing in his body says this is new. Nothing says this is unforgettable. Nothing says this woman is different. Men crave novelty just as much as they crave appreciation. What truly makes him lose control isn't just how you kiss. It's where and why. It's when your touch doesn't just trigger nerve endings. It triggers emotional switches. Men have places on their bodies that are connected not only to arousal but to pride, safety, trust, and release. When you find the ones that activate both the physical and the emotional, you stop being just another woman. You become the woman whose touch he feels long after you walk away. The woman he replays in his mind. The woman every kiss afterward is measured against. Most women think men want control, but the truth is, the right man wants to trust you enough to lose control. He wants to feel safe enough to drop the performance. And the way to take him there isn't by being dominant. It's by being deeply present. It's in the way your hands move with intention instead of hurry. It's in the way your breath speaks before your lips do. It's in the stillness you bring. The stillness that tells his nervous system, "You're safe here. You can let go." That's what turns a man on beyond logic. That's what makes him obsessed. Because for a man, surrender is the deepest form of intimacy. It's rare. It's dangerous. It requires trust. And the woman who can guide him into that space becomes unforgettable. And here's where it begins, with understanding that the kiss that makes him lose his mind doesn't start with your lips. It starts with anticipation. It starts with silence. It starts with the moment just before the kiss, the moment that makes his breath catch and his thoughts fall away. When you touch him with curiosity instead of confidence, when you move slowly instead of rushing, when you pause long enough for him to wonder what comes next, you create a loop in his brain that keeps saying, "I want more of her," because the body responds to anticipation like electricity. It lights up everything. The first few seconds before your lips even touch, his are more powerful than the kiss itself. When you lean in but stop right before contact, when your mouth hovers close enough that he can feel your breath but not your skin, his whole nervous system wakes up. His brain shifts from thinking to feeling. His chest tightens. His heartbeat stumbles. His breath changes rhythm without him knowing why. That's the moment desire is born. Not in touching, but in almost touching. I'll be honest, I used to get this wrong. I thought passion meant going faster. I thought intensity meant more motion. I thought connection meant proving something. But men don't remember the woman who rushed. They remember the one who slowed time down. They remember the woman who kissed like she was exploring instead of performing. The woman who made him feel like nothing else existed except the space between them. The woman who made silence feel loud. Because passion isn't speed. Passion is presence. And presence is what melts him. Most women don't realize how powerful the space just behind a man's ear can be. It's small. It's subtle. But it's one of the most sensitive zones on his entire body. The skin there is thin, filled with tiny nerve endings, and lies right above the vagus nerve, the same nerve that calms the body and deepens emotional connection. When you kiss or touch that spot the right way, you're not only giving him pleasure, you're sending him a message, one of focus, safety, and full attention. That spot is where his body listens. It's where his defenses drop. It's where surrender begins. When your breath brushes that skin, his whole nervous system reacts. That rush he feels isn't just arousal, it's trust. It's the sense of being seen and attended to, so specifically that everything else fades out. That's why he might shiver, or pause, or tilt his head. That's his body processing the shock of pleasure and emotional release, happening simultaneously. It's the moment he stops holding himself together. And the most powerful part? You don't even touch him yet. Start by moving close to his ear and speaking softly. Not touching, just letting your voice warm the air. Say something low, maybe teasing, maybe tender, maybe just his name in a whisper. Let your breath brush his skin. Let silence linger after it. Then let your lips travel along the line of his jaw with slow, barely there contact. Stop right before reaching the curve behind his ear. Pause. Wait. Let him feel the tension. That pause is everything. That pause is where the unraveling begins. Then gently kiss the skin behind his ear. Not the neck, not the earlobe. That hidden curve under the bone where his neck meets his skull. Use almost no pressure, just warmth and breath. Stay for 1 second longer than you think you should. Then pull away, not quickly, slowly, as if you're taking oxygen with you. And don't return immediately. Leave space. Let him feel the loss of your warmth. Let him crave the return. That's how you make a man's mind go blank. That's how you make his body listen to you without a word. That's how you begin the descent into surrender. Quietly, slowly, intentionally. Because the kiss that changes everything doesn't start with lips. It starts with stillness. What makes that moment so powerful isn't just the kiss itself. It's what it represents. Behind his ear is the doorway into the part of him the world never reaches. It's where he stores the tension he doesn't speak about, the pressure he doesn't show, the fatigue he pretends he doesn't feel. When your lips land there with quiet intention, his body receives a message his mind can't interrupt. You're safe. You can let go. You don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to perform. And something happens inside him in that silence. Something rare. Something he doesn't even know he was waiting for. His breath deepens. His shoulders soften. His spine loosens. His eyes close without instruction. That's the moment the world falls away. That's the moment he gives you access to a side of him nobody else sees. It's not sexual first. It's emotional. It's surrender disguised as sensation. And that is why that spot holds so much power. Because it's connected to his nervous system in a way nothing else is. It bypasses thought. It bypasses defense. It bypasses pride. It goes straight to instinct. But here's something most people don't realize. The kiss is only half the story. The silence after the kiss is the other half. Most women rush in again because they feel the spark and want more, but the real electricity lives in the pause. The pause is where the longing is born. The pause is where his body begs without words. The pause is where he feels you not as someone who wants something, but as someone who understands intensity. Nothing is more seductive than restraint. When you pull away slowly after that first soft kiss and don't immediately come back, his whole body falls forward. He doesn't even realize he's doing it. His mind scrambles to bring back the warmth you just took away. He feels the absence like a cold breeze. He needs the return. And that need, that ache, that is the beginning of obsession, not desire, obsession. The difference between wanting and craving. Because now the kiss isn't just physical, it's psychological. It's memory. It's imprinting. Men remember the woman who leaves space. They remember the woman who gives just enough and then steps back. They remember the woman who controls the rhythm without force, who doesn't rush, who lets the moment expand instead of filling it. Attraction isn't intensity, it's pacing. It's the ability to play with timing, to stretch a second into forever. Move slowly enough that he feels every millimeter. Touch him like you're learning him, not like you're trying to impress him. Let there be silence. Let there be waiting. Let there be breath. The breath you leave on his skin is the beginning of the storm. And once you've awakened that first place, once you've lit the match behind his ear, then and only then do you move to the next place. Because now his body is open. Now he's listening. Now his nervous system is tuned into you like a frequency. And the next place is one most women never even think to touch. The inside of his wrist. A place he sees every day but rarely feels. A place exposed, unguarded, delicate. The thin skin that holds his pulse. The literal rhythm of his life. You would be shocked how few women ever kiss a man's wrist. And even fewer understand the meaning behind it. But the inside of the wrist is one of the most intimate parts of the body. Not because of sexuality, but because of vulnerability. The wrist is where the pulse beats closest to the surface. It's where nerves gather, where sensation is sharpest, where emotion meets physiology. When your fingers trace that place, when your lips land there, you're not just touching skin, you're touching heartbeat. You're touching aliveness. You're touching something primal. Picture it. You're sitting across from him. Maybe at a table, maybe on the couch. You reach for his hand gently. You turn his palm upward with the lightest movement, not forcing, just guiding, as if you're revealing something hidden. Your fingertips glide along the inside of his wrist, slow enough that time thickens. You're not trying to take his hand. You're exploring it. You're noticing it, and that alone disarms him. Men are seen for their strength so often, they forget what it feels like to be touched with softness. When your fingers find the steady beat beneath his skin, you pause. You don't rush. You let the silence sit between you like a held breath. Let your thumb trace slow circles there. Unhurried, intentional, curious. You're not performing. You're discovering. You're syncing your rhythm with his. Then lower your lips, not suddenly, not hungrily, but slowly, like a secret being spoken without a sound. Your breath warms the skin first. That moment right before the kiss, where he feels you but doesn't yet have you. That's where his chest tightens, where his breath catches, where his control slips through his fingers. That's the moment he falls. Then you kiss him gently right where his pulse beats. Not quickly, not repeatedly, just once. Slow and deliberate. Hold your lips there long enough for your breathing and his heartbeat to align. And then pull away. Not breaking contact abruptly, but lifting slowly, as if you're lifting the weight of the entire world off his body. That second of separation feels like a vacuum. The warmth disappears. His skin feels the cold. His body reacts before his mind catches up. He wants you back immediately. His hand might move. His fingers might curl. His breath might stumble. His body betrays him. That's the power of the wrist. It's quiet. It's subtle. It's unexpected. It's the opposite of what he's used to. And that contrast is what makes it unforgettable. Because passion doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers so softly it shakes him to his core. And after you kiss him there, don't look up right away. Keep your eyes lowered. Keep your touch soft. Keep your energy calm. Let the silence swallow the space between you. Let him drown in the quiet. Let him feel everything at once. Desire, stillness, safety, confusion, hunger. He won't know if he wants to breathe or stop breathing. He won't know if he wants to pull you closer or freeze in the moment forever. That's where desire is born, not in noise, in stillness, in the ache inside silence. Because real passion isn't chaos. Real passion is control surrendered. And when you learn to kiss a man like that, not rushing, not demanding, not performing, but awakening, you don't just touch his skin, you touch his soul. There's a place on a man's body almost no one pays attention to, yet it holds more emotion, vulnerability, and tension than nearly anywhere else. It isn't the obvious places people rush toward. It isn't the lips or the chest or the places the world labels as intimate. It's the small of his back, that subtle curve where the spine dips just before meeting the waist, that hidden space where strength and softness meet, where the body holds both control and exhaustion. If you watch a man closely, you'll notice something. When he's stressed, when he's holding everything inside, when he's trying to appear steady while he's falling apart internally, he carries it there. That's where tension collects like stone. That's where he braces himself without knowing. That's where he hides what he doesn't say out loud. And that is exactly why touching that place with intention is so powerful. Because when your hand meets the base of his spine, you're not just giving pleasure, you're giving release. You're telling his body something his mind would never allow itself to speak. You can rest now. You don't have to hold everything together in this moment. You're not alone here. Men are trained from the time they're boys to carry the weight, to stand tall, to tighten every muscle and never show weakness. Even when they're smiling, even when they're laughing, their back is still bracing. Their spine is still locked. Their body is still holding everything upright. So when you place your hand there, gently, slowly, with full presence, you're touching the part of him that never receives softness. You're giving warmth to a place that has only ever known armor. You're reaching the part of him that the world never touches. And that's why his breath changes the moment you do it. Picture this. He's standing in front of you, maybe reaching for something on a shelf, maybe leaning against a counter, maybe just turning around in conversation. You step close enough that your body enters his space, not forcefully, not abruptly, just close enough that the air tightens. Your hand glides to the small of his back, not grabbing, not pressing, just resting. The warmth of your palm melts into the muscle beneath. For a moment, neither of you moves. You just breathe. That's when everything shifts. He won't expect it, not because the touch is unusual, but because he has never experienced a touch that feels like that. A touch without agenda, without rush, without tension. A touch that says stay. A touch that says I see you. A touch that says you are safe in this moment with me. His shoulders drop. His spine softens. His breath deepens. He doesn't even realize he's exhaling for the first time in hours, maybe days. His control slips quietly without fight. His body surrenders before his mind understands what's happening. That single moment of release is more intimate than passion. It's more seductive than intensity. It's more vulnerable than undressing. Because surrender is the highest form of trust. And when you touch the small of his back with intention, you're not seducing him. You're freeing him. And that freedom is addictive. If you want to take him deeper, move slowly. Put your second hand on his hip lightly, like an anchor that steadies rather than restrains. Let your fingers draw slow circles at the base of his spine, each one smaller and slower than the last. Feel his breathing change beneath your hands. Feel the shift in his posture. Feel the moment his body stops resisting and begins yielding, as if he's sinking into you without realizing it. Then, only when the air is thick and quiet, lean in. Let your breath touch the back of his neck, but don't kiss yet. Let anticipation build. Let silence speak. Let your presence say everything. That pause is where the longing begins. Lower your lips slowly to the small of his back, just above his waistband. Kiss him gently there, not passionately, not demanding more, just enough to send heat through his spine like a spark traveling upward. Hold your lips against his skin for one long, controlled heartbeat, then lift them slowly like a secret being taken back. That single kiss will hit him harder than anything else you could do. It's not just sensation, it's symbolism. You touch the place where he hides. You soften the place where he tenses. You reach the part of him that never learns how to relax. That kiss tells him something words never could. You don't have to carry everything alone. You don't have to stand guard right now. You can fall apart a little and I will hold you. Most women never touch a man there. They slide past it, rush past it, overlook it. But that quiet space, at the base of his spine, is the doorway into everything he never says. It's where strength disguises exhaustion. It's where confidence shields fear. It's where power meets fragility. And when you touch him there, when you kiss him there, he feels something he can't explain and can't control. His whole nervous system goes silent. His mind goes blank. His heart kicks hard against his ribs like it's waking up, and his body pulls you closer instinctively. Not because he wants sex, but because he wants safety. Because he wants more of the feeling he didn't know he was starving for. And here's the part most people never understand. The power isn't in the kiss. It's in the moment after, when you leave your hand resting on his lower back, when you stay there without moving, when you don't speak, when you let the silence wrap around both of you. That silence is the moment he bonds to you without realizing it. That silence is where connection grows roots. Because passion isn't about fire, it's about gravity. It's the pull that happens when two nervous systems synchronize without words. It's the quiet fusion of breath. It's the soft collapse of walls. It's the warmth that spreads through the spine like light breaking open a dark room. It's the moment he realizes he doesn't want to step away. And after you step back, do it slowly. Turn, walk away without announcing anything, without looking for reaction, without trying to control the outcome. And watch what happens. His body will follow you. His steps will quicken. The space between you will pull tight like an invisible string. He will want you near him without knowing why. He will feel something missing the second your warmth leaves his skin, and he will chase it. Not because of the kiss, but because of the silence that followed it. Desire fills the space where touch ends. That's the real secret. Not the motion, not the technique, not the intensity. The space, the waiting, the restraint. Because the woman who understands silence owns the moment. There's something extraordinary that happens when a man realizes he's not being touched for performance but for presence. When he feels that you're not trying to impress him, not trying to extract anything from him, not trying to control him but simply feeling him. It disarms him in a way nothing else can. It speaks to a part of him the world never speaks to. It reaches past his body and into his identity. And that's the part that changes everything. Because what most people misunderstand about intimacy is that it isn't about intensity or heat or speed. Anyone can ignite fire. Anyone can spark lust. Anyone can provoke excitement. But very few can create stillness. Very few can create safety. Very few can create the kind of intimacy that makes a man's chest ache because he feels seen without speaking. That's what these touches do. They're not about seduction. They're about connection. They don't just make his body react. They make his heart open. And that's the difference between a moment and a memory. That's the difference between desire and devotion. That's the difference between a kiss he forgets tomorrow and a kiss that stays inside him like gravity. Because when you touch the places nobody else touches, you awaken the parts of him nobody else meets. Behind the ear, the inside of the wrist, the small of the back. They're not just locations. They're gateways. They unlock the part of him he doesn't reveal. They speak to the version of him underneath the armor. And when a woman reaches that part of a man, something irreversible happens inside him. He feels safe. And safety is the most intoxicating feeling a man can experience. The world tells him he must always be strong, always composed, always controlled, always certain. He's not allowed to break, not allowed to fall apart. Not allowed to let his guard down. He carries that expectation on his shoulders every day. And he doesn't show how heavy it is. He doesn't admit how tired he becomes. He doesn't speak the stress he swallows. He survives inside silence. So when you touch him in a way that says you don't have to hold everything together right now, when your hands tell him you can lose control here and I won't punish you for it, his whole nervous system responds in a way he can't hide. His breath changes, his voice lowers, his hands reach for you without thinking. His eyes soften, not with lust, but with recognition. Recognition of something rare. Recognition of someone who sees the man beneath the performance. Recognition of the place he never knew he needed. You're not just giving him pleasure, you're giving him refuge. And once a man experiences that kind of refuge, that kind of emotional quiet, he will chase it without understanding why. He'll crave it like oxygen. He'll replay that moment in his mind when he's alone, wondering why remembering the feeling makes his chest tighten. He'll want to return to you not because you excited him, but because you calmed him. Not because you took control, but because you let him surrender. Not because you touched his body, but because you reached his soul. That's the difference. Anyone can take a man's breath away. Very few can give it back to him. That's what intimacy is. Not heat, not urgency, not noise, but the quiet place where two bodies stop, trying to impress each other and simply exist together. That place where the world falls away and nothing else matters except the warmth of skin and the silence between breaths. And the most unforgettable moments of passion aren't the ones that roar. They're the ones that whisper. The ones where the room goes still and the air thickens and time slows and he forgets everything except your hands and your breath and your presence. Because passion isn't built on speed. It's built on control. And control isn't about taking. It's about choosing when not to. The moment you pull away, the moment you step back, the moment you let the silence stretch between you, you create the space where longing grows, where the mind starts to chase what the body can no longer pretend not to feel, where anticipation becomes hunger, where desire becomes obsession. That's the art most people never learn. They think more is more, but real power is in less, in restraint, in the slow burn, in leaving just enough undone that the mind finishes the moment. Long after the body stops, touch him where he doesn't expect it. Move slowly where others rush. Pause where others hurry. Whisper where others grab. Breathe where others demand. That's how you make him fall apart quietly. That's how you make him lose control without ever raising your voice. That's how you become unforgettable without trying. Because intimacy isn't about performing. It's about exploring. It's not about proving something. It's about revealing something. It's not about taking him somewhere fast. It's about taking him somewhere deep. So the next time you're close to him, don't think about what should happen next. Don't think about technique or timing or outcome. Feel him. Listen to his breath. Pay attention to the way he reacts when you pause. Move like the moment is something sacred. Touch him like he's a story you're reading slowly instead of a task you're completing quickly. Because a man doesn't remember the woman who rushes. He remembers the woman who slows him down. The woman who makes him feel something he can't name. The woman who turns his body silent and his mind empty and his heart loud. The woman who makes the world disappear. And all of that transformation begins with the gentlest kiss behind his ear, the softest kiss on his wrist, the quietest kiss at the base of his spine. Not because they are erotic, but because they are intimate, because they are emotional, because they are human, and because they touch the places he hides. You don't have to take his breath. Just give him one moment where he doesn't have to hold it. That's what he'll never forget. There will come a moment, maybe the first time you meet him, maybe months into knowing him, when you're close enough to feel his breath, close enough that the world around you goes blurry, close enough that everything slows without either of you deciding it. And in that moment, you'll remember this. Intimacy doesn't happen when lips meet. It happens when silence does. So don't rush. Don't break the stillness. Let the energy between you build like a quiet storm. Let your hands move with intention, not urgency. Let your breath land against his skin like a secret no one else gets to hear. Let the weight of the moment speak louder than any words you could say. Because that's the moment his guard falls. That's the moment he forgets how to stay composed. That's the moment he feels something rare, something he doesn't know how to explain, something he doesn't want to end. And when his hands find your waist, not to take, but to stay balanced. When his forehead rests against yours, not to kiss, but to breathe. When his body leans into you without thinking, you'll feel it. The shift, the surrender, the softness only a few ever get to see. You'll feel the exact second he stops trying to be unbreakable, because in your presence, he won't have to be. That's what separates you from the rest. Not beauty, not performance, not intensity, but presence. The way you know when to pause, the way you know when to whisper instead of speak, the way you know when to hold him without expecting anything back, the way you make his body feel safe enough to disappear into the moment. That's the kind of connection that rewires a man. That's the kind of intimacy that makes him look at you differently, like you're not just someone in his life, but someone his soul recognizes, someone his body remembers, someone he can't replace even if he tried. And long after the night ends, long after the lights turn off, Long after he's alone again in his quiet room, he'll feel the echo of your touch behind his ear. He'll feel the ghost of your lips on his wrist. He'll feel the warmth of your hand at the small of his back. He'll close his eyes and try to recreate it. Not the kiss itself, but the stillness, the calm, the peace, the permission to stop performing. And nothing he finds will match it. Not noise, not chaos, not intensity, because what you awakened in him wasn't desire. It was depth. And once a man tastes depth, the surface loses its flavor forever. So don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about what comes next. Don't worry about technique. Just be present. Be unhurried. Be intentional. Be quiet enough that his heart has room to speak. Because the most unforgettable woman isn't the loudest. She's the one who understands silence. She's the one who doesn't rush. She's the one who makes time slow. She's the one who doesn't just kiss a man. She changes the way he remembers touch. And the truth is, a man never forgets. The woman who gave him a moment, where he didn't have to be strong. The one who kissed him like she was learning him. The one who held him like he mattered. The one who touched the places he hides. The one who made him feel safe enough to fall apart. And brave enough to put himself back together. With her. Before you go, if something in this touched you, if you felt even a small shift inside your chest, stay connected. Don't disappear into the noise of everything else waiting outside this moment. There are more truths like this, more conversations that change the way we love, the way we connect, the way we understand each other. And I want you here for the rest of the journey. So stay close. Stay with me. Don't miss what comes next, because the next chapter will take you deeper into the kind of connection most people never learn to create, the kind that makes two souls recognize each other without a word. If you're ready for that, don't just leave. Come with me. Subscribe, join this space, and let's go somewhere most people never dare to go.